Behind Dubai's growth are contractors that consistently have to deliver on time, on budget, and sometimes under very high pressure. Our guest today, the CEO of RYUM Group of companies, is Rafael Khanoyan, a good friend of mine who's been running the family business for the last few years. Thank you for being with us, Raf, today.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate it.
Great to be here.
And it's always fun to talk to you, so I'm sure this
We
is
have
gonna
a
be
good time.
This is going to be a great one. Raf, tell us a bit about yourself, first of all. Where you were born, where did you grow up? How did you end up in this contracting business?
I was born in Miami, Florida, one of the great cities of the world, and it's on fire right now. Everyone's loving it.
I feel like you feel like being there, not here at the moment. Is that?
Well, Dubai is like Miami, but I mean, a lot of people feel like being there also.
Yeah.
So between the two cities in the world I would choose would be Dubai and
I didn't
Miami.
realize you were born in Miami. I thought you were born in Houston.
Yeah, no, I grew up in Houston.
Yeah,
So
okay,
I
that's what
I left Miami and then went to Houston, went to University of Texas in San Antonio, and
What did you study?
well, sorry. I went to the University of Incarnate Word in San Antonio,
Okay.
offshoot of Texas, but not.
Yeah. And what did you study?
I studied international business and business law.
All right. So no engineering.
No engineering.
Oh wow.
No,
That's
I'm actually the
interesting.
first Khanoyan in my family to graduate college. So
Are you serious?
yes, yeah.
Your dad built the company or started the company,
He did start the company in 1990.
and he wasn't an engineer either.
No, he's not an engineer.
Wow, what an
not an
inspiring
educated
story.
guy. My father's an immigrant to America. Came there with nothing. His father passed at a very young age and worked in a pizza shop, sold dictionaries, pretty much anything you can imagine he did. Very humble beginnings and started becoming successful, let's say, early 2000s.
Wow, amazing. And what brought you to Dubai?
Well, I went to university. I tried to start my own business and do whatever I could do in Texas.
Examples of business you started it.
Well, there was trading, there was real estate kind of reconstruction, things like that I was looking into. I got my real estate license. I basically did nothing.
I could see you in real estate. You're a sweet talker. You
Yeah,
would
yeah.
have
I
done
think
really
I would
well.
have been good at
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I think I would have been good at that. But I basically did nothing. I thought I was doing something, but I was 23 and partying and
As we all were.
yeah, I wasn't really focused. And I did not have any plans to move back to Abu Dhabi. I did do 2 years in Abu Dhabi in high school.
Okay.
I had no plans to come back. And then my father called me and said, listen, we have this construction business. Come and work out
starting
here.
to pick up.
Yeah. It was starting to pick up that time. And he said, come out here, learn the business. It's going to take time. It's not easy, especially because we're not engineers.
We've been in contracting. It's very
Well,
difficult.
yeah,
business.
you know the
Yeah,
whole thing.
yeah.
So it's not a joke. And then I came out.
What did you start off doing?
Well, he lured me out with some incentives, which I never got.
They all did the same thing.
Yeah. He lured me out with some incentive, which never happened. I thought I was coming out to work in my father's business. I brought a jacket. I brought some slacks. I got ready with my first day to go to work.
And then he
I woke
told
up
you-
in the morning. Wake
sent-
up call was not what I thought it would be.
He sent your ass to the site and
Yeah.
said, "You sit here and you learn everything there is to know."
He
about
said, "What are you
construction."
wearing?" He goes, "That's not your uniform." He goes, "That's your uniform." There were work boots, jeans, and a shirt.
Yeah.
I had to get on site. So I was very upset in those days. I probably packed my bags in the first year 10, 15 different times.
Going back.
You know, I was so upset. And no, today I'm thankful for it because you have to learn in this business from the ground up.
Yeah.
You can't just come into the office.
How long was your apprenticeship? How many years do you think you grinded your way? Well, you still grind your way today, but how many tough years did you
I have an interesting story because I only stayed for a year underneath my father's supervision, let's say, in Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
We had our battles against each other and whatever else.
Always difficult to work with your dad.
And
Always.
difficult. And then, not to mention, Abu Dhabi for a 23, 24-year-old in 2005 was not the best place to
When
grow up.
Dubai was going off the charts.
Dubai was booming. So all I saw was my friends in Dubai enjoying life while I was just working 7 days a week with nothing to do
And
socially.
construction is so difficult, man. I mean, I remember those days. You really do work 7 days a week.
Demanding.
At the very least 6 days, and then at
Yes.
7th days, if you're responsible, you go around your sites and see what's going on.
Demanding. So I had an opportunity to start our business in Dubai with his support, of course.
Yeah.
Bank finance, profile, things like that. And we moved out here and we opened a small, probably 300 square foot office in Al Quoz at the time and started running in business development and took one project, two projects.
What's
just small
the
things.
first project you got?
So the first project that I worked on was Alcoz Pond Park, believe it or not, with Dubai Municipality.
Well, that's not the smallest of projects. That's pretty
No,
good.
it's not that small. It's small compared to what we do today.
Yeah,
but
of
at
course,
that time,
of
we
course.
also did a lot of the shoreline and Palm Jumeirah projects. So I don't remember
buildings?
exactly what no, all landscape.
Okay,
What we did
yeah.
was we started in landscape,
Yeah.
which is what my father was doing.
Yeah.
Parks, hotels, resorts. But later we diversified and expanded into heavy infrastructure, pipelines, pumping stations, desalination plants, and things of that
But
sort.
all that in a very short period. I mean, if you said these, we're talking about the early 2000s, and now we're in 25, and you already expanded into all that. How many employees are you today?
We're about 5,000 plus.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
it's a big responsibility. A lot of
Yeah.
families depend on us, and we try to make sure we take care of everybody.
And do you run today both companies, or do you run?
Well, we've merged all the companies
Okay.
since 2018, and I've taken over Abu Dhabi and Western Region as well. So I am the group CEO now for the last, let's say, 6 years. And we're very diversified, expanded to Qatar, Saudi, Iraq, Jordan.
Yeah.
So it's been an interesting journey.
Did you ever think that you would be doing this at this age?
I wasn't sure that I would stick around and do this even while I was in it, to be quite honest with you. I mean, if you know the history of the world and the UAE specifically from 2008 till today, I mean, we've had so many ups and downs that there were so many times that I just said, I'm
Like
done.
2008 was a disaster.
2008 was a disaster. 2013 was a challenge. 2017 was a challenge. Then you had COVID.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been so many speed bumps. So there were many times where I just wanted to wrap it up and say I'm done and just get out.
What saved you from this as a company?
As a
Because
company,
2008, let's not forget, it was the global financial crisis. A lot of the projects stopped, clients stopped paying, a lot of projects got cancelled. And as for the interest of our listeners, in contracting, what you do is you buy the equipment or you buy the material, you install it, and then you bill it. So basically, you're financing a project because you're buying the stuff yourself, then you're installing it, and then you're or building, and then you're invoicing. So when one project stops, all of a sudden, and you've bought material for a huge project, then you're stuck with that material, and you can't invoice any further. How did you navigate, for example, 2008 financial? I'm sure you have projects that stopped or put on hold.
to be honest with you, it was a combination of two things. One, it was a lot of loyalty from our staff.
Yeah.
You know, there were times when we had salary delays. If you're a contractor and you haven't had salary delays,
Something's
you're
wrong.
probably lying.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, there was times when we couldn't pay suppliers. There were times where projects, because of our own non-performance, weren't moving
Yeah.
for whatever reason it was. So I'd say the loyalty of our staff and the commitment and dedication of our staff, and a lot of luck also.
How do you win that loyalty? How do you get that loyalty?
Lead by example. If you don't lead by example, then how if you're not in the trenches with your people, how are they going to trust you when things are bad?
Yeah.
They'll be with you when things are good. When things are bad and you're just sitting there behind your desk
They'll
or on
abandon ship.
vacation
Yeah.
or out of the country, you think those people are going to stick around? No, you go to the trenches, you go to war with them, you go to the progress meetings, you deal with the client, you absorb a lot of the pain points in the business. Don't let it go to them because they're already disgruntled.
Yeah.
You got to be very strategic about how you manage people.
And in those early days when you were learning or as you were growing within the company and learning the tricks of the trade, what experience you would say shaped a big part of your leadership today? Did anything happen at some point? Did you have any thing that you saw, whether it was from your dad or other leaders in the company, where you said, it kind of it was a turning point where you said you understood a lot of the game?
Yeah, I mean, I give full credit to my dad. I mean, it was just, when I was younger, I would look at what he's doing and I'm like, so you own this company, right? And you're going down to the nitty gritty detail of which labor work on which site, and you're going to sites on your day off, and you're not taking vacations, and you're rolling your sleeves up yet. And he was doing very well at the time, and I was like, why are you doing all this? And I didn't understand it for the longest time. I thought he was just addicted to work, which he is. He's old school. But what I came to learn was that when you do take that approach, when you mean it, when it's coming from your heart, your people see that.
Yeah.
Your people see that and they get inspired.
Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest thing I took away.
What was the biggest challenge when you guys decided, or I would say when your dad decided that you were going to become CEO of the company? What was the biggest challenge that you had to face stepping into the CEO role?
Well, for a number of years, I was only Dubai and Northern Emirates.
Yeah.
So while I was somehow underneath our group, I was very, let's say, independent.
Yeah.
I didn't really have too much reporting to do. I pretty much ran the ship the way I wanted to. We had our own resources and everything. When I became CEO of the group, when we merged it together, I had to come underneath his management directly, and then also dealing with people that he had built the company with for many, many years.
And that's when the clashes start, really.
Yeah, I would say, I wouldn't say clashes, but I'm trying to come in with a new management style, a new vision, something a little bit more modern,
Fresher. Yeah.
You know, we do things different.
That's what I mean
today.
by clashes. Yeah, that's when it happens.
Yeah. So I'm blessed because he never overturned anything I did. He never imposed his authority on me.
And that's wise of him.
He let me make mistakes, no matter how much they cost. I had challenges with the existing staff, let's say, because the direction I wanted to take was completely different than what we were going.
Who's this young kid coming in?
Yeah, and I don't blame them.
Yeah,
you know,
of course,
I mean, who's this young guy? How did he get? You know, I had
daddy's
respect.
son, and the whole.
They respected me because I'd worked with them for 15 years at the time, and they'd seen the effort that I put in. That I'm not just daddy's son. You know, I was on the site.
You weren't parachuted in, yeah.
No, I was there morning to night. I wasn't taking holidays. You know, we weren't living that lifestyle. So I had the respect, but change is always difficult.
Yeah. What was a part of this journey that people don't see or people don't know of this 15-year growth journey, or even until now? What is the side of what you do? You know, people on social media see the Ferraris, they see the watches, they see the nice suits because you're a handsome man and you dress well. What is the reverse side of the medal that people don't see?
The challenges. You don't see the things we don't post. You don't see. No one's gonna post their negative, right? No one's gonna post all the
except when you're posting your meetings on site on Saturday mornings.
Well, you guys are enjoying your beaches and stuff. I'm sitting here on site and enjoying my beaches, but they don't see the negative aspect of our industry. Our industry is extremely challenging. Our industry is fully dependent on two things. One is time, and the other is cash flow. And if you slip in any of those,
cash flow is the hardest thing to manage.
Cash flow is the hardest thing to manage. And if you can't pay suppliers, they delay delivery of materials, your project gets delayed, time is money, penalties, clients breathing down your neck, and they don't care whether they've paid you on time or not.
Yeah.
That's that's a different department.
That's a different cultural thing altogether in the Middle East, which I never understood, is we'll pay you when we can. It's, what do you mean? There's an invoice there, you need to pay it, What would you say defines the RYUM Group of companies in terms of quality engineering services? So much competition in contracting, and that's one of the biggest things. Yet I see you getting, the best projects, the best contracts, the best. I mean, I don't know about the contracts, but the best jobs for sure. Very high profile jobs, year after year after year after year. What differentiates you from other companies bidding on those projects?
Look, let's be honest, okay? Contractors, if they're capable, at the end of the day, we're all going to deliver because we have a consultant, we have a client managing us, right? Yeah. So if we take time to deliver or have to do works multiple times, that costs us money. But in the end, the client is going to get their product, right? So I don't want to go and talk like everybody else quality because that's nonsense. The client's going to get their product. I would say what differentiates us is the ownership of the senior management, starting from our chairman all the way down to every single person in the company. We go to site. Our CFO goes to site. Myself, I go to progress meetings. Not all of them. You can't do that. But the client knows that if they can't, get something done with the 5 layers below me, my mobile number is there. I'm going to answer. I'm going to respond, and it's going to get done. I think
answering is super important. Answering and being available is super important.
And I think, in the contracting industry, most of the owners of the businesses are not involved in the operations.
Yeah, of course.
They're investors. They're on the board. They've hired a CEO. Well, this is our business. Yeah. We're the owners. We're the operators. So there's a different, I guess, flair or different touch.
To give people an idea of the kind of projects that you do, because I know them, our listeners don't necessarily know them. Give me the top 3 projects you're the most proud of.
Okay, I have to say the project that I'm the most proud of, because I think that defines our legacy and defines my own career and everything else. And it's so important, is obviously the Sheikh Zayed Museum. It's not our largest project by any means, but the importance of it, the significance of it.
Cultural importance.
Yeah, the cultural importance. It's something that's going to be here forever. It's the story of the country. It's the story of the founder of the country. And the fact that we were chosen to do the garden, the timeline garden.
More proud of this one than the Louvre?
Yeah, I have to say, Sheikh Zayed Museum is a different landmark for me. I mean, it's this country is who made us what we are. Yes, we put the effort in everything, but this country opened the doors and gave us the opportunities. So for us to kind of reciprocate and put our stamp on the most important project in the country is something I take a lot of pride in. The Louvre was also a very key project.
It's the
But
Louvre, man. It's you know, it's
a
an
world
institution, right?
Yeah, it's
like,
an institution.
I mean, to go anywhere in the world and say I built the Louvre in Abu Dhabi is just fantastic. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah. It's a wonderful feat. It was
La
not
Mer,
easy.
La Mer was an amazing project
La
back in the
Mer
day.
Water Park was a good one. For me, it was a very interesting because we did the water park and it was design and build. We did it in 11
Was it the first
months.
water park you ever did?
Second. We did
Yeah.
Legoland Water Park first.
did you as
and then,
well?
yeah, because of the success of that, they awarded us La Mer.
So tell me a few of the projects that you've done because I'm not aware of all of them. So some of the high-profile ones.
The Maidan racetrack for the horses and the hotel. We've done all the landscaping and infrastructure there. So we did that in record time. And His Highness was flying with his helicopter every week to supervise us. So that was in 2010. Dubai Parks and Resorts is probably our largest project. It was a mega project.
It's amazing that you've done all that in a period of 25
In
years.
Dubai
I mean,
Parks, we did the infrastructure, we did the landscape, we did a lot of the buildings, we built the roller coasters. My kids aren't allowed on them. We did the artworks
reassuring.
packages, the
Yeah.
water features, the water. I mean, we did so much.
That's
there
amazing, man. Well done. Well done.
Appreciate
I'm
it.
really proud of all these accomplishments. Can you share a moment that you can remember? Because it's important for our listeners as well to know how difficult it gets sometimes. Where you were afraid it was all over?
There's multiple moments of that.
Really?
Oh yeah. So we did a mega project in Qatar.
Yeah.
And it was Lusail Crescent Park. It's probably the largest park in the Middle East, which was going very well. But then because of political situations and the embargoes and everything that happened, that all fell apart and came into major losses. And FIFA was coming, caused a major strain on the company's financial resources. And really...
To a point where you thought we might be dead here?
Yeah, exactly. Well, my father's always told me, he goes, you can build a company for 30 years. It takes one project to close
that's
it.
true. That's the problem with contracting, especially at that scale.
Yeah,
and that
one
level.
mistake can ruin 30 years of work. So that was a very big challenge. And then COVID came at the same time. And then we had a project, King Abdullah Financial District in Saudi, underneath Bin Laden. Everyone knows what happens when the crane fell and Bin Laden got closed down.
Were you on that project?
We were not in Mecca, but we were in Riyadh in King Abdullah Financial District. But all Bin Laden closed across the country.
That's also a killer when a project stops
Nothing
like
to do
that.
with us. We lost big money there. But then COVID came. So those were all those challenges. Those were the main times where I said, wow, it's done. There's no way we can recover. And I still, I'm proud of those days.
Yeah, of course, because these are the ones that shape you, and these are the ones that make you who you are today.
Yeah.
What's one, Rafi, misconception about contractors in general in Dubai, you would say, that people say?
People think that contractors, and it may have been like that at one time. I'm not saying no, but people think that contractors are quote unquote thieves, that we're just taking all the money and running. We have a bad rap for that.
So far from the truth.
It's so far from the truth. We're trying to just break even or make 5 to 10%.
They don't realize. You're so right. I mean, it's so difficult to make money in contracting. It's especially on big projects like that. So many things can go wrong. And now it's like you interviewing me. So many things can go wrong. The slightest mistake, the slightest problem, the slightest delay will actually make or break your project, which can make or break your company, which it's true.
I mean, don't get me wrong. There are contractors who cut corners.
Look, you know what? To be honest with you, in contracting, to make money, you have to cut corners.
But there's a limit.
No, in what I call value engineering, right? Like
Yes.
if you're able to install, your heavy, AC machinery in 10 days rather than 35 days and find a way to do it, then you are cutting corners because you're doing it in a faster way.
Yeah.
And you're going to make more money. The problem is when you're bidding today on projects, everybody's outbidding everyone. So really the clients are getting the best price possible. But
they are.
You get to a point where sorry to say it, some idiot's going to come and price a price that doesn't make any sense.
On every single tender.
Yeah, and if you take it at that price, then you're going to have to cut corners or do some value engineering in order to be able to perform it at that price and be able to have a margin on it.
Well, look, I won't have to go too far from that. Marsal Arab is a perfect example where I've literally made a decision to burn the price, potentially go into losses. We took it at break even, but whenever you take a project, you got to subtract a certain percent.
Of course.
We ended up losing money on that job knowingly from day one. But why did we do that? We lost Royal Atlantis.
Yeah.
And I couldn't have the next 7-star hotel on my competitor's profile. Simple as that.
Yeah.
So we took the job for that reason. You do that once in a blue moon.
Yeah.
There are some people who do it.
It's a calculated risk and it's done on purpose. But I mean, it's one of the best marketing tools you can have to say, I did Marsal Arab. Right?
Exactly.
Does the market reward long-term quality, Raf, or is it really you're as good as your last project?
You're as good as your last project.
Yeah.
They don't care about your legacy. Yes, it means something.
Yeah.
Okay, but let's be honest. Most of the legacy contractors have closed. There's not many of us left.
It's true.
It's hard to sustain a long-term contracting business. There's too many challenges, too many risks. Something's going to go wrong somewhere along the line. So,
But how do you mitigate that? Because that was one of the worst things in contracting is always living, always living every day saying it can end any day. We can hit a brick wall any day with one project.
it's diversification.
Yeah, that was very important. I remember in contracting as well
Yeah,
to diversify different projects. So if one doesn't pay, you can get and people just don't realize how hard it is.
Yeah, well, it's not just the projects. It's also the type of contracting that you do. So
Yeah.
we were strictly a landscape contractor. And then I diversified us into infrastructure and small buildings and service buildings and these kind of things.
Yeah.
In 2012, had we not done that, we may not be here today. We were lucky that we had this pipeline project, which was part of His Highness's N-1 plan, they called it, which was a gravity transmission line for water, just in case they ever had a power shortage and pumping stations couldn't distribute water through the city. And that was a project that could not go on hold because that was a national security project and it was a mega project. So while most of my projects went on hold, that project had the green light and that financed the whole company. And what does that mean? Our main bread and butter was landscape, but an infrastructure project kept us alive.
Rafi, to tend to that myth that contractors are crooks and thieves, can you share with our audience, I'm not saying you, in general, what is the bottom line that a contractor will do on a job in terms of percentage? Because I think people have very jaded thoughts of that, thinking that we make the contractors make 40 and 30 and 80% and all that. Your bottom line at the end of the day, when you charge $1 for a project, how much of it, if the project goes perfectly well, and this never happens, what should your bottom line be?
5 to 10%. This is what we work with, and
I bet you it's closer to the 5 than to the 10.
It's closer to the 5
if you do the calculations
once you
properly.
take out overheads, once you take out prolongation and delays and time,
the change of the price of steel and the change of
everything
this
else.
and the
Yeah,
change
you don't
of
get
that.
compensated when commodity prices go up or anything goes up, right?
Yeah.
So you don't get compensated for that.
Rafi, we've talked about you, about the past, where you come from. We've talked about RYUM and what you've accomplished, and mashallah, you've accomplished so much. I'm proud of you. I'll tell you that again. Let's talk a bit about the future, right? About the years ahead, because it's important also to, when you're talking to entrepreneurs, to find out what they think, what their vision is, and how they're planning long term. First, I'm going to ask you a typical question. Where do you see RYUM in 5 years, for example? Do you even know?
Yes, I do. I think that.
Are you part of that picture, or you don't know?
Well, we'll have to see about whether I'm part of that or not. But where do I see the company going? Look, the market is supporting us now, right?
Yeah.
The UAE is expanding in a way that it has never done before,
speed,
that maybe nowhere in the world has done before.
Of course.
Saudi, even though there might be some talk of a slowdown or whatever, they have a long way to go to develop their country, and they will do
You're
it.
working a lot in Saudi or not yet?
Not at the moment because we're very busy here. But we do have a joint venture there. But we're so busy here. We're just focused in the UAE.
Yeah.
The Gulf in general will develop and continue to develop. I don't foresee a major slowdown. There could be a correction at some point. There always is, 5, 7 years, whatever. But there's so much to be done here. The world is coming here. So I believe that the market is going to create opportunities for us to continue the path that we're going. And like I said, our main business is landscape. So it doesn't stop when the construction stops. We still have to maintain it. Plants are living things. We have huge nurseries. We grow millions of plants a year from
Where are
seeds.
your nurseries?
In Shahama, in Abu Dhabi.
Oh, wow.
And we also have in Ras Al Khaimah.
I didn't realize you grow your own plants.
Oh, yeah, more than 20 million per year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow,
So-
that on itself is a huge business.
Yeah, it is a huge business, actually. And we import, 100,000 trees a year from all around the world. But where do I see ourselves in 5 years? To be honest with you, what's my personal target? The construction industry is archaic. We are working like cavemen. Technology really hasn't hit construction yet. It's starting to, but it's still very behind. I would like to be the forefront of that. I'd like to bring technology into construction instead of simply using human resource and old methodologies to build. And I'm not talking about 3D printing.
No, you're talking about equipment. You're talking about
Everything. There's so many ways to automate, There's so now with AI coming into play, still AI hasn't hit construction yet. Starting,
But in terms of design, all that, methodologies,
so many things,
BOQs, all that, it could help a lot.
Exactly.
What trend is shaping the contracting and service sector today? Is there a trend that you see that's happening that's happening in contracting that was born in the last couple of years and that you see growing, or not really?
No, big time. I think design is turning towards wellness and longevity.
Yeah.
It's every project now is talking about wellness and longevity.
And these trends, they're crazy. Like a few years ago, it was all about sustainability and leads and all that. You remember? Lead or whatever it was.
Lead and the Pearl rating. And all those kind of things. But no. I think wellness and longevity has taken over.
Yeah.
Whether it's a marketing tool or not, I'll leave that to the viewers to make their decision. Yeah. But that's really shaping the market in terms of design, in terms of quality, in terms of the way that people perceive building, and I think that's the biggest change that we have.
Raf, do you refuse projects sometimes based on a hunch? I think this project's going to fail, or I don't have a good feeling about this project.
Absolutely.
And are you usually right? 50-50?
50-50. I'd say 50-50.
What are reasons that you would refuse a project? Besides the price,
reasons,
obviously.
Okay, there's price, number one. There's program. Sometimes the client is over-ambitious and they need to finish this job in 7 months.
I can't do it.
Yeah, they've been advised that this job is doable in 7 months, and I'm telling them, no, it can't be done. And so, if they stick to it, we're saying, look, I don't want to have we don't have any failures.
And he finishes in 3 years.
We've never not completed a project, even when we lost big money like Qatar. We've always completed our projects. I don't want to have any black point on our record.
Yeah.
So time is one thing, but the biggest reason that in today's market, that we would refuse a project is resources. There's no resources in the market. Subcontractors are fully loaded. Labor, not easy to come by anymore. Either they're all busy over here, or they have work in their home countries.
Yeah.
Because the world is booming, actually.
So you're having trouble finding talent, huh?
Oh, big time.
Wow.
Big time.
That wasn't a problem back then.
It was never a problem.
Yeah.
It was never a problem. Now it's become a very big challenge for all contractors.
How do you recruit labor?
So labor, we have agencies that recruit from all over Asia, India, Bangladesh, Nepal, Pakistan. And there's visa constraints also with security and stuff like that. But I would say labor is the biggest challenge. Then you finding qualified engineers. The youth don't want to be engineers anymore. The youth want to go into tech. The youth want to go into IT. They want to go into crypto.
Nobody wants to build bridges.
Who wants to get their hands dirty and be on site? And from contracting, we get beat every day by the clients and consultants. We're the bottom of the barrel. We're the bottom of the food chain.
Correct.
Who wants to go into that lifestyle? I can't blame these kids for not wanting to become an engineer, right? And there's so many other opportunities.
So what's the risk, Raf?
The risk is not having the resources to execute the jobs.
And the opportunity is to turn to technology to do it.
Yes. And
so
it's very challenging.
Your vision there is correct.
Yeah, but the problem is that there's so many projects in the market. You get a little bit greedy and you get overambitious.
Yeah.
And I forget, I always tell everybody this. Don't just go out and be ambitious and try to conquer the world. Manage your ambition, because sometimes we get too excited when there's opportunity in front of us. Everybody's greedy.
Yeah.
So we see an opportunity become bigger and better without understanding the downside when things slow down. And that kind of happened to us in Dubai Park Cities.
Yeah. What advice would you give to somebody today who's thinking of starting a contracting firm, a 22-year-old Rafi today that says, you know what, I want to start a contracting firm and I'll start with a villa and work my way up to a skyscraper?
I would say go for it.
Would you?
The market supports you. I would say manage your expectations. Manage your expectations of your margins, number one. Manage your expectations of your cash flow. Don't go into the business with no reserve cash, because you will fail, because you are not going to get paid on time. You are not going to get paid what you think you're going to get paid every month, because they're going to deduct so many things from your invoice.
Yeah.
Suppliers today are king because the market is open. They're getting their payments on time at good margins for everybody.
With cash, yeah.
With cash. So if you think that you're going to get credit terms, you're not. And so I would say just really focus on your growth, make it sustainable. There's a million projects out there. You'll get a lot if you want. Don't do that, Execute.
Yeah.
Make sure you execute.
Here's a tough question for yours, a kind of tough question. What is it that experience have taught you that theory could have never taught you?
What is theory and practice is completely different. Until you get your hands dirty, until you understand what's happening on the ground there. Don't think that a book or an idea or a concept is going to ever pan out. When you get to the site and when you see the challenges that your staff have to go through to execute a project, it's completely different than sitting in the office looking at designs or reading a book and learning about it or looking at some concept pictures. So you got to get your hands dirty. Things on the site are not as they seem when you're sitting in the AC and behind your desk.
Yeah, definitely. Raf, we're going to finish with this. I want you to finish the sentence for me. Sustainable success in contracting requires ...
Sustainable success in contracting requires cash flow, perseverance, and resilience.
Well done, buddy. Thank you very much. Thanks for being
Pleasure.
with us. Thanks for sharing your insights, being so candid and so honest. Look, contracting, we both have experience in it. It's not an easy job, and you've been doing a fantastic job at it. So congratulations to you.
Thank
I hope you enjoyed this episode and you enjoyed the insights that Rafi gave us, and we'll see you on the next episode.